The parents of Jordan DeMay are speaking out following their son's suicide death that they believe was a direct result of sextortion scams. A 17-year-old shot himself last year after a hacker lured him into sending explicit photos and threatened to leak them to DeMay's family and friends if he didn't pay $1,000. The family now is encouraging parents to talk with their children about potential dangers like this one online. Now, we want to go ahead and bring in NewsNation national security contributor Tracy Walder to discuss this a little bit further. Hey there, Tracy.
Hey, Kelsey. Thank you for having me.
You know, Tracy, this one's a really upsetting one. This could be any one of our loved ones. What kind of tactics do these criminals use to lure victims in sextortion cases?
Well, you're absolutely right. This truly could be anyone. In all ways, this family was doing what was right. They were really monitoring his social media, but have kind of eased off as he got older. They need to learn a sense of personal responsibility. In terms of awareness, quite frankly, we need to be telling kids that they are not the ones breaking the law if a situation like this arises and they find themselves in this situation, because I think a lot of times kids do think that what they're doing will get them in trouble with the law. And I think that's one of the first things that we need to be doing.
I think it's so scary because shame is such a big part of something like this. And it's probably what Jordan DeMay was feeling at the time of giving those photos. Why do you believe it's teenage boys that are the primary suspects? I mean, targets, that is.
Yeah, you're right. In cases like this, in 2022, there were 3,000 documented sextortion cases. And really, the target has been primarily teenage boys. One of the reasons I suspect, there's not necessarily data supporting this either way, but one of the reasons I suspect is that we really do a great job, not a perfect job, but a good job of preparing young women about the understanding of, sending pictures of their bodies back and forth. And we assume sometimes that males won't be in that same position just because of their gender. And I think that is what is happening. And they're really focusing on males because they are more susceptible, because they are just not educated enough in this.
We do know that a couple men have been charged in this case in Nigeria. Can you kind of talk to us about the relationship between the U.S. and Nigeria, and what charges can these men expect to face?
Sure, that's an excellent question. So we have had an extradition treaty with Nigeria by virtue of the United Kingdom actually since the 1930s. So this is something we've had in place for a while. They do not have the death penalty, so we would have to take that off the table before they're extradited, which I assume that we already have. There is precedence for this really since about 2017 on. Nigeria has been rather easy to work with in terms of extraditions. Now, it takes some time. It can take a year, it can take 2 years, but we've had this happen in 2021 and 2022 with folks from Nigeria being extradited here on, internet fraud crimes. Really what they could be looking at here, quite frankly, is second-degree murder charges. So they're looking at anywhere from 15 years to life, depending on their role, particularly if you look at some of the communications back and forth. There's one that did encourage him to go ahead and try and commit suicide. And I would imagine in that case, that's someone that's going to have more of a charge than the others.
It's just so sad because the extradition is not going to bring back their son, Jordan. Tracy, how can families go about protecting their children from becoming victims of sextortion schemes like this?
Sure. There's a couple of things that you can do, and many parents already know this and are doing an excellent job. But really, I think the biggest thing to drive home to kids, quite frankly, is if someone messages you or friends you on any of your platforms, just go ahead and ignore, do not engage, and block. Also, it's really important to let your kids know that people can pretend to be your friends online. And so it might be really important to, if you think you know this person, ask them questions that only a friend would know. Also, be suspicious of people on gaming platforms. That's an issue we don't talk about enough. Don't overshare on all of your social media platforms. And if a child is younger, you can go ahead and limit their screen time and limit the apps that they can download.
Tracy Walder, thank you always for your time.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.